Hello everyone and welcome back to Factorio. My name is Poober and we are now in episode 7 of my season 2 Factorio series. And it's been a little while since I've last uploaded, and one of the reasons for that is that I have been working behind the camera on getting this blueprint created for what I'm hoping to use in our mega base plan. Now this is just ghosted on our map here, but this is a design that was originally made by V. Falcatnodrero. I hope I said that right. And his version was a top-down, left-to-right type of junction that will allow 2-4-2 train to fit through and have a ton of efficiency getting through the junction, whereas a lot of these four-way rail junctions are not very efficient, and efficiency is something I'm very focused on since we are now playing on a rail world. So my hope today is to work towards getting closer to trains and getting this a reality. We are now back in my very early game assembly setup that we have here, which at this point really isn't cutting it anymore. I only have the one assembly machine devoted for our entire red and green science pack production, only one assembly machine for ammo, and it's not even the upgraded ammo at this point. So I think for now we're going to go ahead and at least upgrade our red science pack production. So conveniently I have all of this open space here that is in between our product lines for our iron plate, our steel, and then our copper here at the bottom. So I think that means we can conveniently put in some assembly machines to feed from these lines kind of in the middle section here. And then hopefully make it a little bit more ratio perfect as well. So I know we still only have the blue assembly machines, not yet the yellow, and the blues only craft at a 0.75 instead of the 1 or 1.5 I believe the yellow does. But that is still at least better than just having one per science pack. So, starting with our red science, I'm just double checking the recipe here. So that requires iron gear wheels and copper plate. So for the iron gear wheels, we'll go ahead and put that near, of course, our iron plate line. And I'm going to kind of put it a little far away from our iron ore patch so we can still put on some miners here if we want to. So we'll start maybe here-ish. And, oh, I just have barely a couple inserters, but we'll go ahead and put our input of our plate inserter right there. And then for the iron gear wheels, we can put like that, maybe? I'm just kind of winging this. So then we need copper plate. But we could possibly have our copper come in like that. Whoops. There we go. And we'll do a splitter right here as well. And we will need another inserter like that. And we'll do at least 5 for our red science. And then do I have enough inserters? Not quite. I'll go ahead and grab just a handful more. And then let's grab some belt while we're here. And we do have to make a couple more electrical poles at the very least. Okay. Let's keep adding in our inserters. And then we do need an output line. And let's put our output line like this. And that way we can feed it into some labs maybe in this section here. So I am going to make a couple more labs, so you do have to do that by hand. But let's go ahead and connect this up to electricity while we're waiting for the labs to finish. That should do that. We'll put in our recipes. This is the iron gear wheels. And this is the red science packs. Now I believe this one iron gear wheel assembly machine should be enough to supply the entire 5 assembly machines for the red science packs here. And that is because it takes 5 seconds to craft. And let's see, how many seconds does this take to make? 0.5. So that should be enough. We just now need to put in our inserters, and we need the red ones here. There we go. And then underground there. And then let's place in our labs. And I think we'll just go ahead and use the feature that was added in 0.15 that allows the inserters to deliver the science packs to the other labs. We'll do something like that. And that. And then we need to add in our underground belts. But that should work for now. It won't be the most efficient thing in the world, but we don't need it to be the most efficient thing right now. Anything is better than what we currently have is kind of my opinion right now. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll start some research while we've got these working. So for trains and at least research towards trains, we first need to research engines. And that will require 100 of red and green science packs, but we'll go ahead and get started on that. And of course, these labs won't work until we have green science packs added to them, so that will be the next priority. And of course, green science will not be quite as easy as getting our red science upgraded because green science takes many more components, which I think will mean we have to get rid of this stuff or at least move it to a different location so that we can fit all of the components that the green will need in this section over here. So green science, of course, requires transport belts and inserters, one of each, but of course those require components themselves. So I think let's go ahead and instead worry about making the inserters first and trying to be more ratio perfect for that. So our inserters require, again, electronic circuits, iron gear wheels, and iron plate. So we'll add that up here at the top. We could use these gear wheels, but I think we'll just add another one to be safe since I don't think this one assembly machine alone can supply red and green science packs. So we'll have 2, but we will continue to just feed our green science needs from this line here for the gear wheels. Let's add in a power pole. There we go. Oh, we need one more for this guy. And copying the recipe over. Okay, now we have our 2 iron gear wheels, and again, we're using 2 to help supply red and green science. So we also need iron plate, which will be easy to do. And the other thing I'm looking for is we need underground belts. Do we have? No, we don't. I was thinking we might have an assembly to our underground belts, but we do not. So I'm just going to grab a couple more of those, a couple more of these. And we'll put these down there. Get rid of that pole. And let's continue on because copper plate will be needed for our electronic circuits. So we will do, these will be copper cable. And let's duplicate that. Let's do another one. Oh, tree in the way. I'm just kind of winging this, you guys. Okay, so at least if we do this setup, it will be ratio correct. like that. We labeled this as the electronic circuit. Electronic circuits require iron plate. So what we can do is have the iron plate branch off from here. Like that. And do we have long enough? This might cut it close even with our red underground belts, but I do want to extend the iron gear wheel line over to the right a little bit. Okay, that barely fits. But then we need an output for our green circuits as well, which we can add right here. And then our red right there. And I'm just giving these guys power. There we go. So at least the green circuits are working, and we have our iron gear wheels that are now divvied up underneath these two assemblers here. So now the next thing we need So we need assembly machines for the inserters themselves. We can add, let's see, the inserters just require basically all of the above. So we'll add this down, continue this on, and then we need to get rid of this, it looks like. We'll go ahead and put in our recipe. And we need our red inserter here. Oh, no, that's not right. Right there. And then we can feed the gear wheels like that. This is beginning to get a little less organized than I anticipated. And we might actually be doing overkill on our green circuits for this one inserter machine. But oh well, the green circuits at least are the correct ratios to be produced. Alright, so green science packs. That covers our inserters, and then we need transport belts. And transport belts I think are a little bit easier. Yes, they require just iron plate and iron gear wheels. So we'll continue the iron gear wheels this way if possible. What I think I need to do though is move this down by 1. There we go. Move that down. Move that, move that, move that. We still need to put in that there. And I'm actually going to do a trick here. Like that. Putting an underground belt there will allow it to not accidentally feed onto the belt line it's next to. So we will do a red inserter there, and then a regular inserter here. Let's continue this on. And then we're going to do a trick like that for our splitter. And then that way we can continue the underground belt line of our iron gear wheels. So it looks like, what else do I need? I am missing, just straight up iron plate in my inventory. I'm just borrowing straight from the line. Let's grab a little bit more. Okay, now we can continue this. So again, this is our inserter recipe. And we do need an output for that. So can we extend? Ugh, that's a little far. What I can do is change our underground belts a little bit. So we can do that, and then we'll add another underground belt just between these two there. Just like that. And that will carry on that way. Okay, so... Oh, actually, we needed it to extend a little bit further. There we go. Now we have an output line for our inserters, which will go there. And I was thinking that our green science packs would actually go in this section over here, but somehow I've ended up going this way. But that's okay. This will all get torn down eventually. So now the next thing we need, I think, will be to have that go down there so we can fit in some more assembly machines, although we actually need it to go down a little bit further. There. It will be ugly, but it will work. Okay, so belts. We can now add in our inserters there. And then we'll do kind of a belt trick to change what side the products are on. And I always mess this type of thing up. So let's go ahead and put in our poles so that we can double check where everything goes on the belt line. Okay, so that's not what I need. I need like that. Whoop, wrong way. No. Get rid of that. I don't need that anymore. I need there we go. Let's pick up the extra that we have here. Okay, so essentially what I've done is changed the area that the inserter is on the belt. So the inserter works by putting the product on the section of the belt that is furthest away from the assembly machine, which is why the inserter starts on the bottom side if we're looking at it from this angle. But then we see that with this belt trick that we have here by the belt placement, we've changed it so that it then gets placed on the top. And that way we can add another red inserter here so that the belt output will go on the other side so that they can both share the inserter and belt placement onto this output line here. So now we can extend our product line and put in our green science pack assembly machines, which we will put right there as our recipe. What else do these need? Is that it? I guess so. It just needs an output now. So the greens need an output, and we need to get it all the way back to our red science pack labs that are filled over here so that they can start to work. So what we can do is do something. So let's do something like this actually, because we're going to have multiple machines devoted to green science production. And let's hook it into this line somehow. So red is on the bottom, green will also be on the bottom, so we need to get our green science packs to the top of the belt line. And that will go on the bottom, so we need no, let's double check. It always helps. I can never figure out like the way to get it done unless I see the product on the belt line itself. So we'll go ahead and add in our assembly machines for the green science packs. let's see, how many do we need? So it takes 6 seconds to make one, so we'll at least put down 6. And that's 6 right there. We're gonna go ahead and copy the recipe. There we go. We will extend our product lines that will feed into the green science packs. And then add, of course, our output. So output will do just like this. And we'll have to do our belt trick, it looks like a little bit further down the line. We can't put it right there, which is fine. Let's add in some electricity. And then our red inserters will be needed. So these should start to work. And our belts are working, so everything is working properly. It looks like, oh, we just need to extend the line a little bit further down. So this is what we need to fix. I do want the green and red science packs shared on the same line, so we just need to change the location of the green science packs on the belt. So let's do so by that doesn't work. Sorry guys, I'm just thinking in my head here. There we go. That's one ugly way of doing it, I suppose, but that will work for now. Now we just have to fix up this a little bit here, but that will be easy. We just add in our underground belts and our inserters, and then that will be working just like normal. And then we can extend the belt line now so that our red and green science packs will now be joined. And then these will start to feed into the labs once we have something new to research. Now, in the time we took to make and edit all of this, we did get our engine research done. So now we can start working on the actual railway itself. So we'll go ahead and get that researched and double check that everything gets into our labs like they're supposed to. Which they do. So that's fantastic. We now have a more ratio perfect red and green science pack set up so that by next episode we can hopefully get some production going for our railways and some engines and hopefully some trains in the very near future. So I hope you'll join me for that episode coming soon. But in the meantime, thanks for joining me for this one, and I'll be seeing you guys soon.